and Becky will tell us if there's anyone in the waiting room. We're excited she's back.
Hold on a second. Good.
All right.
Okay, we're good to go. All right, well, I think we're now reconvening in open session, after having our executive session to consider employment of a public officer or public employee in this instance. And I believe we're ready to move forward with our discussion of the executive director recruitment, and I believe our vice chair has a motion.
Yes, Chair Hollister, I hereby move that we advance or invite the following candidates to the next round of interviews. That would be Susan Myers, Michael Wood, Jay Messenger, and Robert Kandrian.
Thank you for that motion, Vice Chair. Is there any discussion on the motion?
So
I only got two of them. I am so sorry. I can believe it's okay.
you got Michael Wood, Jay Messenger. Robert Kandrian, Kandrian. And Drian.
Commissioner Burke.
Yes, just a question, procedural question. During this session, we expected to discuss our thoughts regarding these four applicants, or is that for another time?
I don't think we're expected to engage in any deliberation. Certainly our vote needs to be public. So that's the intent here. I mean, I can certainly state for the record, that we're, gratified that we had so many fine candidates apply for the position, and that they decided to take part in the process. That it was certainly not an easy decision, that there were a lot of skills that we saw from the various candidates. And unfortunately, it's just the nature of the process that we're going to need to move forward with a smaller group. And so that's the intent of this motion.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Okay, seeing no discussion, I think we're ready to call the roll.
Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Commissioner Fiscum?
Aye.
Commissioner Burke?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Aye.
Commissioner McCauley?
Aye.
Commissioner Lindsay?
Aye.
Commissioner Newell?
Aye.
Chair Hollister?
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, wonderful. So we have a unanimous vote to move forward a group of candidates. So thanks, everyone. I just timeline wise, we are like we said before, going to move forward with a panel interview, some stakeholder meetings. And then I just wanted to touch on briefly when our final meeting will be for the actual interviews. Do we need to come up with additional potential dates for that? Because we're not quite on the schedule we originally planned. And please, Kylan, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you, Commissioner. I have an updated document with tentative dates that I shared with you that lead those stakeholder sessions and staff sessions, et cetera, ending on December 21st. So just to give you all a ballpark of when you might be meeting for a final interview following those dates.
Okay, and
And if you'd like, I can share the
go.
document.
Yeah, I've got it up as well. Here, I'll just screen share.
We can release the hold on December 15th is what I'm hearing as well.
I think that's correct. Well, yeah, because the second round interview is the panel interview. So that's not the interview of the full commission. So that would happen sometime between the 11th and the 15th. And then there'll be a meet and greet and a governor's office interview. And that will take place the 20th, 21st. And then some reference checks of the final candidates. And then final candidate selection would be sometime after that. I guess Ron, do you have any thoughts about how we select a date for those final round interviews?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this schedule. I mean, the employees are not a problem. That panel interview, you know, you have people from other agencies and doing other things. I mean, hopefully we can get them in within that week. But again, we are around the holidays. So I'm kind of reluctant to actually talk about like a final day interview because, and then we get into the employees. I mean, obviously they can be here on the 20th to do that, but the stakeholders, you know, they come from a lot of different walks of life. And we have, you know, the League of Oregon Cities, Association of Oregon Counties, special districts, school board associations. There's several people that are, you know, over the years have been interested parties that are also stakeholders that want to be part of this. And so this schedule, I mean, I appreciate the schedule, but it may be, because that's getting in the week right before Christmas, might be a little aggressive. And so we know we have a meeting on the 5th of January. I'm really opposed to you folks having a full meeting, and that meeting will be a full meeting. And coming out and then trying to hire the executive director. So, I mean, I think if you look at someplace in that week after that, I think that might be
The week after what?
your meeting on the 5th of
The week
January.
after that, maybe.
Week of the 8th.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, I think we can get it done by the 5th, all these other things. That gives us a little bit of lead time in there through the holidays. But yeah, I would prefer just to have a meeting specifically for the interviews.
Right.
And then you guys have your deliberations and do that. So
We don't want to mix that up with the January 5th regular session.
no, and I'm just telling you, the January 5th meeting,
Busy.
it will be a full meeting.
Yes.
So there's not gonna be a lot of time at the end, and plus, we all know we're wore out at the end of those meetings, so we want to give these people, you know, our full attention when they are at that final interview stage, asking for this job. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking about, chairs, that week after that.
Okay.
If that's okay.
No, thanks for those thoughts. You know, I'll say that I feel like we're in a little bit of a pinch point here between really wanting to be efficient. And I know our goal was to hire for this position by the end of the year. But because of the holidays, I worry that there won't be sort of the level of stakeholder participation that we'd like to see. And scheduling might be difficult if we push for that. So I'm certainly open to sort of shifting this to ensure that there's sort of full participation and panelists are able to be present. That said, at the end of the year, I will be passing the torch to Vice Chair Lindsay. So I will defer to him on making scheduling decisions or suggestions in January.
Does it look like Alicia McCauley has her hand up?
Yes, it looks like Alicia McCauley, or I have Dan Mason. Commissioner McCauley, did you have comments?
I don't, no,
okay.
that's Commissioner Mason.
Okay, great. Commissioner Mason.
Thank you, Chair. Since nobody on this call has gone through this process, you know, we haven't replaced an executive director in 20 years. Can you flesh out what, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the commission's decision on who the executive director is. But with these other interviews between the stakeholders and the governor's office, how does that play into this process of the decisions that the commission actually makes?
So I'll give you my 2 cents, Commissioner Mason. My 2 cents is by statute, it's our decision. So we bear full responsibility for the decision that we make. I think that these other stages are really helpful in collecting feedback and, making sure that we're seeing the issues from all angles. But ultimately, we have the authority to hire whomever we think is the best fit for this position.
Providing information, is that part? Are they providing a report? Are they providing, because obviously we're not part of those interviews.
I see 2 people. Why don't we go Executive Director Burson and then Kylan?
Yeah, can I add to this? So all of these other meetings that you folks aren't involved in, Kylan will have that information, and at the final interview, that information will be provided to you. So you will get what the employees think of of the candidates. You'll get what the stakeholders think, what the governor's office thinks, and of course, what this panel has thought of them. And so basically, you're gonna get all that information, plus you're also gonna get the reference checks. So you're gonna have all the information you need to make that decision at that final interview after hearing the candidates yourselves.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate that.
Madam Chair, I'm not online, but my hand is up for one quick comment, please. Would
Sure,
you?
Commissioner Fiscum.
Thank you. First of all, I'm going to assume that once the time comes for us to have final interviews with the finalists at the full commission level, that occurs all in one day.
Yes.
We don't have multiple days for interviews. We have one day. Is that right, Kylan? You're shaking your head. Yes, thank you. The other, this is going to be a friendly comment about stakeholders. My reaction to that as a friendly way is to provide that opportunity for stakeholders and let them adjust to the schedule we propose rather than trying to manage a schedule for all of those persons to show up. And that's a more friendly comment than it sounds like, because if we try to schedule with stakeholders, we'll be here for 6 months.
No, I understand that, Commissioner. What I was saying was, you start doing it, the few days before the weekend, before Christmas, we might be narrowing it down further than we really want. So
Thank you.
I think if we give them just a little more dates, but you're right, they have to schedule around us. Now, the governor's office is another one, but I have heard from the governor's office, that they will make themselves available to this process.
Thank you, Chair.
Madam Chair, are you still sharing your screen with us for, I appreciate the New York
Times. You don't want to
but-
see my,
Well,
my front page?
I just
The
didn't
jobs
know
report is
what
looking
else might
good.
come. I didn't know what else might be on your screen, so.
No. Sorry about that.
They are
Thank you for
recording.
the reminder.
Nice.
So in terms of the next steps, it sounds like everyone is on the same page in terms of getting that feedback. And we're going to need to determine a date for a meeting, likely in perhaps the second week of January or thereafter. I'm assuming staff will help us do that. Thank you for circulating the scheduling survey earlier. I'm assuming we'll need to do something similar for January.
Well, since we have everybody here, other than we're missing one commissioner, Genoa. Is there? Does that next Friday, the 12th, work for everybody? It doesn't have to be a Friday, but that's just my first number to throw out.
For what it's worth, I'm having a root canal done at 9 on the
Well, this would be more fun than that. You'd rather do this than root
That
canal.
would be more
Dental
fun.
appointments
Yeah.
are important.
Are you
Well,
talking
Yeah, I recommend that we hold maybe the 11th and 12th open, but if the 12th is definitely off for Richard, then maybe we hold the 11th. But I agree that we should hold one of those dates. And how big of a window should we hold? Should be another 2 hours, maybe?
I think you're probably, I would say it's at least till noon.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be longer.
Recommend at least
I'd
a
say.
half day, maybe a full day.
And I
If
just
you have
wanted on the
3
record
candidates.
that I don't want to inconvenience the commission. I will not be in the least bit offended if you decide to go ahead on the 12th, even though I'll be in the dentist chair, but I don't want to inconvenience the commission in any way.
well,
I also recognize that there's a recognized holiday that following Monday, so if folks are traveling, that could be also an issue. Commissioner Newell.
I have a existing work obligation it's usually the second Friday of every month, and a few times now it has coincided with this commission's meetings, and it's really difficult when they do.
Okay.
And so avoiding that is great when we can get off that schedule. But that said, those are coming to an end, and the 12th is not a great day for me, but I'm completely open on the 11th.
How does the 11th work for everybody?
That would be better for me than the 12th.
Okay.
It's apparently the season of dental appointments, but I think I can move mine on the 11th. So
Oh, no.
Chair Hollister.
no, I should be able to move that. So no worries.
Chair
So-
Hollister, this is Commissioner
Please,
McCauley.
Commissioner
Sorry.
McCauley.
Yeah, so I unfortunately have work obligations the 11th and 12th where I am required to travel out of town on business. So I am absolutely completely unavailable those days. With that said, I have no issues with if there's a quorum and the remainder of the commission can meet, please move forward.
Okay. Well,
Thank
what
you.
we can do as staff, we can put out an announcement to all the commissioners and just have a tentative date of the 11th. And I can get back to the chair and the vice chair, the new chair, the new vice chair,
Yes.
on what we've got, because we are missing one commissioner today. So we can see what we can come up with on the 11th. If it ends up being 8, we'll go ahead and schedule it for that at the regular time at 9 o'clock. And like I said, you probably should think maybe at least a half day, because I don't know the questions that you're going to have, but you want to give the people a full chance to answer those questions. And, you know how many candidates you have to listen to. You can kind
By
of
the
time
way,
that.
by the way, I would vote, or I'd recommend that we start at 8 on that 11th, so we
Okay.
get a full 8 to noon.
It just freaked me out for a week, put it in at 8. I thought everybody's going to throw up at 9 o'clock. So if you noticed all the highlights on 8 o'clock, that was me yelling. So I apologize.
Yep.
It
It's
worked
helpful.
wrong.
Yeah.
It was helpful.
Quotations flashing, Christmas lights around it. Yeah. So,
Excellent.
okay. So we'll send out an email to everybody saying that's tentatively scheduled for the 11th, if that's all right with you, Kylan.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
can I ask just one more question, Executive Director Burson? So I think right now in August, the commission voted to give me authority to sort of make decisions on behalf of the commission. Obviously, I will no longer be chair as of January 1st. So, I mean, do we want to adjust that as of January 1st to our new chair? I just wanted to check in.
No, because the
Okay.
commission itself is going to meet, and there's just going to be a vote of the commission that hires.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
all the decisions have been made on what you're going to do to go forward. The panel and stuff, like I said, Kylan's going to bring you all that information. And that meeting hopefully on the 11th, you will listen to all the applicants, and you will actually, discuss that in executive session, but you'll come out and vote one candidate to be the executive director. And so that'll just be a normal vote
Okay.
of the commission. And Commissioner Lindsay will be the chair during that meeting.
Terrific. Okay, thanks for
But
that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
this is Commissioner Fiscom. I am one, and I presume I have colleagues who have no difficulty with you keeping your same involvement as we move through to the final stage. And I suspect that soon to be Chair Sean Lindsay will agree. Keep working, Ms. Hollister.
Very, very well. So on that note, I will encourage you, if we will circulate the timeline. I'd like to circulate that for the commission once we have maybe the dates updated. And if you have feedback on any stage, so for instance, if you have thoughts of who should be invited to stakeholder interviews, if you have thoughts on questions you'd like to see us ask, you're welcome to share that input with Ron. That's of course really valuable. So please do touch bases if you have thoughts on that process.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a lovely Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for meeting.
Bye.
Nice, Kylan.
All right, well, that was easy.
No, easy.
Still, this is just a